Keen to stay ahead of the game after this year's smartphone launches, the Xperia Z1 gets a more powerful processor, higher spec camera and new metallic chassis. But is this release really warranted after just 7 months into its predecessor's life cycle? Similarly to the Xperia Z, the Z1 features a 5-inch Full HD display, although it now gets the tri-luminous treatment similar to the Xperia Z Ultra. Videos and images still look as rich and sharp as you could want, but unfortunately in some situations, the Z1 still suffers from poor viewing angles much like its predecessor. Hidden inside are the Z1's biggest upgrades. For starters, a quad-core Snapdragon 800 chipset clocked at 2.2 GHz alongside 2 GB of RAM. One of the biggest areas of improvement is the rear-facing camera. Sony's latest device comes with a massive 20.7 megapixel sensor, making it one of the most powerful camera phones on the market. The Z1 produces some of the finest photos we've seen on a smartphone, at least around 90% of the time. Generally, the Xperia Z1 is a very competent performer, and when outside it does a great job in all light conditions. The problems arise when you take things indoors, where we found some noticeable noise on shots. Sony is clearly keen to compete with the low-light capabilities of the HTC One and Lumia 925, but unfortunately it doesn't quite pay off. The Xperia Z1 comes with a 3000 mAh battery, which compares favourably to the HTC One and Samsung Galaxy S4. In terms of actual performance, we found the Z1 was good for just over a whole day's use, holding up nicely against lots of picture taking, tweeting and email checking. You get 16 gigs of internal storage, expandable via microSD. Sony's latest smartphone again boasts waterproofing. We dunked it in liquid several times and it still worked as promised. Obviously, touchscreen responsiveness suffers when the phone is wet, so you will want to wipe it dry before using it. Overall, the Xperia Z1 is another great phone from Sony, much like the handset it replaces. The screen isn't quite as spectacular as we'd have hoped, and the camera does fall a bit short at times, but there's a lot in this package in terms of performance. Still, the overall look of the phone doesn't dazzle, making the Z1 a hefty slab of smartphone to carry around. It feels like Sony has dropped the ball a bit when it comes to design and gambled too hard on their camera, a move which didn't quite pay off as hoped. It's hard to recommend this phone if you're already an Xperia Z owner, particularly as you're essentially looking at the same phone with a spec bump and slightly more premium shell. But if you're looking for a powerful luxury device with a decent camera and added life proofing, the Z1 is definitely worth a look.